Hey folks, Quill18 here, and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Football Manager 2017. We are Air United, it's our second season here, and today we face St. Mirren. And we haven't been on the greatest streak in the universe over here. Loss, draw. A lot of those at home as well, although Motherwell was, maybe we don't have to count that one. Can we start things off, start getting things back on the right foot here with not a whole heck of a lot of season left to us? So yeah, playing against St. Mirren. Sort of a standard Scottish weather over here. Relatively standard referee. We have won fairly well against St. Mirren. They've only won once in the last 2 years. We've taken in home 3 and probably drawn 3 over here. We are going to be rocking the 4-3-3 narrow tactic today, however. Changing things up a bit. Trying to rest a few folks. When's our next match after this scheduled? Oh, not for a while, actually. So if people were... Yeah, they're a little lower. A little lower. I don't know. Who's at 98? Oh, that's Isaac Vassell. That's not even one of our primaries. No, we're going to go with this. We need to shake things up. We've got to do something different. We're going to go in with the 4-3-3 mentality over here. And we're going to be starting Thomas and just hoping that things are a little bit more varied. Let's give it a go and see what we can do. Rugari Musendo over here is going to be one of our... I want to change things. Ball-winning midfielder I want to have centered. Actually, you'd be just happy playing a supportive center midfielder. That would be okay. I don't want the ball-winning midfielder on the flank. I'm not sure about box-to-box, although we could get a whole lot of mobility going on over here. Crawford quite likes the deep-lying playmaker as a bit of a connection line. A couple of deep-lying playmakers feels a little bit silly. But I'm wondering, is maybe, but we can't have the flexibility. How do you feel about box-to-box midfielder? Okay, and then... Support. It's a lot of support from the midfield, but it might not actually be that bad. Well, let's go ahead and submit this in here. Yes, I know you're lacking some match sharpness, but it'll have to do. Musendo is getting his number 37. Submit the numbers. And let's hope we can break this negative streak. I mean, the draw was a start to not go so badly, although I still feel like that should have been... I feel like should have been a dominant and easy victory, and I'm very disappointed that it didn't happen. Very disappointed. St. Mirren have difficulty of late. Yeah, well, they're not the only one. I'll be looking to consolidate second place. That's the thing. We're so close that at this point, I mean, probably we've already got second place. If we can get some wins, we definitely do. What's your advice? Tackle every... God, you are bloodthirsty. Let's go ahead and remove that stuff. And oops, just go normal. And do close down on both these strikers fairly quickly, though, if that sort of stuff happens. We're the favorite. Yeah, well, yeah. Let's get in there, kick some ass, actually make a difference. Let's see what we can do. All right, starting Jamie Thomas. I think that ball should have bopped the referee there. It looked like it went right through his head, but let's ignore that. Paul Kearney moving the ball up a fair bit. He's got it. I was going to say, Thomas is nicely open there. Ooh! What a fail pass attempt by Thomas, though. I mean, he nicely positioned himself and received the pass nicely and then completely failed to get it over to Alan Forrest. Robbie Crawford over to Thomas, back to Gary Fraser, who might take one of his patented shots. Oh my god, a beauty of a floater. It looked like it had a little bit more hang time than expected. I mean, I know ball spin is a thing in football, so there might have been something there. I don't know if the simulation covers that, but right away, 2 minutes in, boom. Now, I have no idea if that has anything to do with our current structure in any way whatsoever, right? These fluky things might happen regardless, but I don't know. It is interesting. I mean, we have a target man, so that would even more encourage Gary to pass it to Thomas, presumably. Although, well, Thomas passed it to him, didn't he? So I don't know. I don't remember exactly. I could check the assist list, but that seems like some amount of work here. Fraser back again here, trying to move it. Ooh, I think he was trying to pass it forward to Thomas and failed. Kearney to Thomas. Back to Fraser. I mean, the play... Whoa. Good clean tackle. Was it really? The play is going to be a lot more focused on the center here. Thomas, a long bomb, which does force a touch by the goalkeeper. We do have look for overlap. We don't have our wings on attack, and maybe we would want to. Cross some deep. I mean, I'm actually surprised you don't move up a little bit more. Because look for overlap will encourage the fullbacks to move a little forward. I could make them wingbacks, which is even more aggressive, right? Played out wide with no wing support. Overlapping down the ring to support forward play. I mean, you're just as comfortable, so let's go ahead and wing back both of you. Again, this might be a little too crazy. We'll find out. Meanwhile, play continues on. We've gotten a lot of highlights in the first 6 minutes. This is probably the longest 6 minutes we've had thus far. Good offense here, but we've got our defensive line is in place. Of course, we are still playing standard as opposed to control as well. So they'll sit a little bit deeper. A little bit of failed tackle there by Daryl Magat, who's playing on the wing back role today. Deflected away. It's going to be a corner kick. Hopefully it's okay. St. Mirren hasn't officially gotten a shot yet. This might be their opportunity. A lot could happen here. Gets cleared away. Looks like Lammy. And must have been cleared out. So yeah, Thomas assisted to Gary Fraser. I love to see Gary Fraser back on the board. Well, that was an effective corner. So just like that, we go from having an incredibly dominant start to suddenly St. Mirren, 1 shot, 1 goal. That's all it takes for them. Real snipers. Gary Fraser with the free kick here. Delivered with power, as to be expected. Not exactly on target. I don't know if free kicks are really his strong suit. But maybe. Possessions in our favor. Pass completion's fantastic. Not really a surprise, since we do have people a little bit more clustered together, so it's going to be a lot of more of a short pass. Like, we're not, we don't have the instruction set to shorter passing game, but it is going to be shorter passes. Nightingale takes the ball away. Excellent. Sends it deep, deep forward. Sort of just pass into open kind of style, because that I don't think was ever going to get to Jamie Thomas in any real way. Where he's trying to like land it on his chest or something. I'm not sure exactly. Nightingale sends the ball away. Paul Kearney's going to pick that up. Excellent. Definitely a real playmaker, Paul Kearney, no matter what role he's played in. Although there he lost the ball. Nightingale wins that again. Kearney to Thomas. Thomas is going to send it a little bit over to Forrest, who does have some of the speed. He's got a little bit of that of the Craig McGuffey in him. I think of them as very, very similar players, personally, in my head. This looks like... Oh, it's Musendo. Big high corner. Picked up by Thomas here. Kept in. Over to Fraser, who doesn't look like he's going to shoot. He just knocks it a little bit far forward so that Nightingale can kick it. And actually, I mean, nice little connection there. Nightingale's not going to be, as a central defender, he's probably not one of the ones with the most creative shots. It's nicely on target, though. Maybe a little too on target. Try to play a shorter passing game. I don't know. Why? Why is it suggesting that? Like, I want context for it. Our pass completion is fantastic. Not like there's anything wrong with our passes. The passes are being delivered. I mean, there's a different style to the shorter passing game as well. And maybe it would make sense, but I don't know. I feel like it's happening sort of as a side effect to our structure, and I don't think it would change the play all that much. Might have changed that pass, I'm not sure. Kearney, can he get it around here? No. Oh, he tries to pick it up again. Still not a foul. This referee actually seems to be quite chill. Robbie Crawford sends it forward to Forrest. Beautiful angle on Forrest. That was a question of, because the ball was set forward, could Forrest get enough speed to reach the ball and have enough time to get a good piece of footwork on there before the angle became a little bit too sharp and hard to score on. So we're back up 2-1 over here. A lot of action this game. I was about to say, you can tell it's not going to be a 0-0 draw. Okay, you can tell it's not going to be a 0-0 draw by the fact that people have actually scored. But, you know, it hasn't been... There's been a lot of drama in the last... Well, I guess their last third, their final third here, because we're the ones getting all the shots. But it feels like, yeah, there's progression. Sometimes it feels like you're just standing in front of a big wall of defenders, and all you can do is sort of knock it about a bit, and that's not the case here. Nightingale's been really on there, and on his star rating for and readiness for the role is actually higher, I think, than both Lamy and Magat. And I think he's really starting to demonstrate that. Starting to integrate into the team well, and doing a pretty good job overall. 1 extra minute here. Excellent. You can tell it's not going to be a 0-0 draw. Oh, I love how sportscasters are known. Like, there's so many sportscasters that have these, like, oh my god, what a beauty of a rebound, and it just burnt that shot in with real power. There's so many sportscasters that's got those funny lines, and I think that's what happens when you're really doing stream of consciousness sort of saying. You know, they would have won if they hadn't lost, kind of thing. Dun, 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 dun. Although I have said with great seriousness before, all we have to do to win is not lose. But that's my way of saying, like, all we have to do is sort of, like, you know, shut down and play, like, sort of a really defensive game at this point. And that'll be that. Well played. We'll try to deter the players to kick on in the second half. Yeah, no, I'm passionate about it. There you go. Just keep it up. Not even going to say room for improvement. You guys, I mean, I prefer a bigger lead, but Oh, it feels like the old team is back. I mean, this is dominant, but this is... I don't know why we didn't dominate the same way against Dundee, which is actually a lower-rated team. Alan Forrest with some... Okay, that was really impressive footwork for a second there, and then it became the dumbest footwork all of a sudden. Musendo centers to Fraser, to Kearney, back over to Crawford. Oh, thought we may send it up winger, but no, Musendo back to Fraser. A little too much of a clustering in the middle, maybe. Thomas back to Musendo. There we go. That's what we're looking for. Kearney, who holds the ball up for a second. Back to Fraser. But we've got a few targets up a little further. Crawford to Forrest. Ooh, he gets closed down real fast. Crawford over to Forrest here, who's got a shot. It's not the greatest opportunity. If there'd been anyone else there to maybe pick it up, it'd be okay. McGatt keeps the pressure on, though, back in the final third. Fraser, big shot, big shot. That is a miss, and it's going to lead to a goal kick. Although even the goalkeeper thought it might have been something he'd have to go for. He tried to make a leap, but he came just shy. 59% possession, looking good for our team. McGatt clearing it there. Kearney knocks it, I think that was, yeah, Kearney gets it, knocks it further away. It is picked up by Queen of the South, but our defense is clearly in place. I think that actually deflected off one of the bodies, and Lammy is able to pick it up. Can Thomas win this race? Thomas is not the speediest. Craig McGuffey may have been able to win that. We're going to get a free kick here. It's going to go high. 35 minutes left to go. Energy levels are perfectly fine. We might start to look into some substitutions here, but I mean, I don't feel like there's been a single weak point. And that's the thing. It's not just, even though we've been scored on here, some of these games you feel like there's just such derpiness that starts to happen. I haven't felt like anyone's acted particularly derpy over here. We're firing sort of on all cylinders fairly evenly. We might have just gotten a little bit unlucky getting scored on there. I mean, 18-3, yes. Oh, Paul Kearney, go! It's 18-3 on shots, 19-3 now. So, yes, we did get a little bit unlucky when we got scored on. I think that's fair to say, since we are clearly obliterating this game. Wouldn't surprise me if we did this 3-1. I shouldn't jinx it here, but it would not surprise me if we did that. So, Jamie Thomas is having a good game. I'd like to bring in Popes and see, you know, he doesn't get as much play as we'd probably like him to do. But it's not like Thomas has been doing bad. He did get the assist, set up a really nice goal with Fraser, actually. Oh, speaking of Fraser, picks that ball away beautifully, drops it off to Nightingale, who tries to send it forward, but unfortunately is picked up again by the Queen of the South with a long-range shot. Savage just catches that one. Looked very cool, though. 10 out of 10. Very stylish. So I'm just trying to peek here. No one's having a bad game. That's obvious. Tiredness levels aren't that bad. Gary Fraser's getting a little bit tired. He's not, like, dead on his feet or anything. Still, it might make some amount of sense to do a bit of a swappy-do here. If we brought in Ryan Stevenson, he's not as comfortable playing as a box-to-box midfielder. Well, he's about as comfortable in all these, isn't he? No, he'd be a little bit happier as a support deep-lying playmaker, or an attacking central midfielder, or support advanced playmaker. We'll put him as advanced playmaker. A little further up, not quite as defensive. I think that's going to be A-okay. So we'll do that, because he's starting to tire out a little bit. Actually, hold on. Undo. What if we brought in Isaac Vassell? Oh, he likes to play as one of the attacking roles. Right, left. He doesn't... Oh, yeah, he actually shouldn't have been in the sub list. Really. Okay, no, we'll go back to Stevenson as a advanced mid-player support. Okay. That's going to be A-okay. Thomas... Ooh, it gets kicked away, but Crawford picks it up right. I don't think that was a pass. I didn't look at the bottom. Musendo with a backwards pass to Kearney, then picks it back up off the rebound. That is going to be a corner for us. I don't think that was ever going to go in. It looked a little bit wide, but the goalkeeper still made a run to it. It might have deflected off a Queen of the South body as well. That might be the reason we had the corner. I'm not sure. Stevenson, it does get cleared by Sutton, but it's going to get picked up. Alan Forrest on the opposite wing than he normally is. Over to Stevenson, who's going to center it beautifully to Jamie Thomas. Oh, that is lovely. That was really wonderful. There's our 3-1 situation that I thought we might get to. St. Mirren has gotten a few more shots on. It actually could have been drawn up surprisingly quick. In fact, it could go 3-2 right here. Ooh, that is a really, actually weak defense. That could have been very dangerous if the ball had gone a little bit differently and Queen of the South had been able to get a little bit of a rebound there. I'm going to leave it on standard here. I don't think we got to lock things down, not with a 2-goal diff. Is there... And it'd be nice to get in some match sharpness on people. I could bring in Isaac Vassell as something. Bring him as a striker of some description. Here, defensive forward. Support role. There you go. Just so we can get a little bit of exercise here in the last 13 minutes. Well, it's probably going to be more like 15 or 16. Okay, with a 2-goal diff, makes me a little bit more concerned. I think we're going to go to a bit more of a defensive mentality. Because again, it's that time. All we have to do to win is not lose. So I think that's fine if we just look to not concede as much, sit a little bit deeper. Is there an actual, rather than keeping people warm, I might want to do a substitution that's a little bit more about staying defensive here. I might want to keep my wingers back. Tell you what, we'll keep them as wingbacks, but we'll have them be a lot more defensively minded. Wingback, defensively minded. I think that's going to be fine. Defensive. Just a little bit more relaxed. Devlin to Crawford. Crawford centers it to Forrest. Oh, brings it back wide. Maybe you've lost the ball a little bit too. I don't know if that was fancy footwork or just losing the ball. Stevenson to Forrest. He had a bit of an angle. Gets it over to Kearney. Deflected off a Queen of the South body, allowing us a corner with probably about 10-ish minutes left, depending on how things go. Ryan Stevenson taking the corner. Possessions come back a little bit, but we're still ahead on there. Still well ahead on shots. Although, in terms of shots that have gone in the goal, their percentage chance is a lot better. It's funny, even with work ball into the box, we seem to just hit the goalkeeper a lot. And maybe what we should do is take it off. Maybe the balls being sent into the box are too obvious. And maybe we should be taking shots from a little further away. I don't know. Crawford, Ralston. Ralston's probably just going to center it back to Stevenson. Yep, there it is. Stevenson up to Kearney. Quick little pass to Thomas. Thomas could have gotten it to Forrest there if he'd been a little bit more ready for sort of a one-time pass, but no go. Ooh, Sutton's going to be able to pick it up. He does get enclosed quite a bit, and goal kick to area net. Okay, I thought Sauvage had maybe gotten his fingers on that one. So probably about 5-ish minutes left. Forrest fails to get in there, and another fail to get that ball. And that one, there's a bit of a rally going on here. I mean, with this time, I don't think it's worth doing another sub, to be honest. We're going to get you in just so that technically you were there. There you go. Technically, get you on the pitch. You will have an appearance fee, so we'll be paying an extra £50 or something, but I think that's all right. Corner from Queen of the South. We get it out of there. We've got some pretty good central defenders, I think, for these corners. Although they did score on us from the corner once. Does that ball just bounce off Stevenson and lead to another corner? This is getting a little bit terrifying. And we probably have to survive another 3, maybe 4 minutes. Story with a little bit of a fumble. Tries to, I guess, kick to the goal. It doesn't look like a cross to me, so I don't know. There we go. 40 seconds left. And again, we're dealing with the offense. I mean, we are playing a lot more passively. So there might be something to be said there on defense. There's going to be a little bit more of an emphasis. I mean, yeah, some amount of possession, but also maybe a little bit more desperation for clearing the ball out of our end, as opposed to just playing it out and risking a turnover. That might be very dangerous. If anything, this would be a time to put it on more direct passing. But there we go. Full time, coming out 3-2. I mean, after losing the other one 3-2 not that long ago, it's still not great. It's still not where we want to be, but at least we booked that win. I don't know. It's possible we have mathematically secured ourselves. Let's see here. Okay, so the played games are a little different. So they've got 8 more games to go, so they can get 8 times 3. Well, I mean, yeah, there's actually a lot of points still out there theoretically, right? Because it's 36 games in total. You get 3 points for a win. So that's a lot left out there. If we lose a bunch, or even just draw, if we draw our final 7, you know, or something like that, draw our final 7, so we'd be 7 points higher than this, we'd be at 55. I mean, yeah. So, I mean, it's unlikely that they'll win them all. I would definitely place substantial amounts of money on us coming in second, but anything's possible. Hibernian could lose their remaining 8 games, and we could win our remaining 7 and suddenly find ourselves on top and get automatically promoted to the Championship League. It feels pretty unlikely, but something like that could happen. Next match is in 11 days. We're gonna have to, and it's gonna be away. We're gonna have to make a decision as to what our strategy will be in terms of facing the other team. I don't know what we see what our pairings have been against a specific team. I know it shows us that at the beginning of the match. There's probably some way to see it somewhere. I mean, I suppose I could just look at the schedule and then look for Kilmarnock entries. We beat them away, drew at home, lost at home. Okay, so a little bit of everything. So yeah, so I don't know what that means for our tactics. I don't know if we play more of this. I don't know if we go back to that. I don't know if we give this a little bit more of a chance. Like, there's some real options. We've got some viabilities. I don't know if we change our instructions. We'll have to see. Thank you very much for watching, though. See you next time.